In addition to paying $10 million to be used to encourage children to engage in non-digital programs and penalties up to 125,000 Australia dollars a day. Hello everybody, James Films here. This past week and a half has probably been the most eventful time for Roblox since Schlepp's ban. I previously talked about how Roblox is starting to send cease and desist letters to condo game creators, but that is only one of the 5 major events related to Roblox that happened recently. In the past week or so, Roblox has had 3 settlements with different US states, costing Roblox a grand total of $35 million. Finally, Australia is forcing Roblox to be transparent about how their safety policies really work, and failure to comply could lead to a loss of millions of dollars, along with a possible ban in Australia. I'll do my best to read through everything important, but if you want the full articles, I'll leave them in the description. Today, Attorney General Aaron D. Ford announced a first-of-its-kind agreement with the interactive game platform Roblox that will implement much-needed changes to protect Nevada's children. In addition to paying $10 million to be used to encourage children to engage in non-digital programs, Roblox has agreed to comprehensive and impactful injunctive relief. This agreement we have announced today will protect Nevada's children from would-be predators in a virtual space, said Attorney General Ford. The injunctive relief that Roblox has agreed to will give parents the tools they need to protect their children on the platform, institute default protections to block predators from engaging with children, and ensure that messages involving minors are not encrypted. As part of the agreement with Roblox, all users must undergo age verification to ensure children only have access to age-appropriate content on the platform, which is already true. I don't know why they had to say that again, but they did. Roblox is committed to use facial age estimation technology and government-issued ID for age assurance, and will use behavioral monitoring to identify users who may have been aged incorrectly. Parents will also have expanded control over their children's use of the platform under agreement. This expansion of parental controls allows parents to decide who their children are talking to and the games that they are playing on the platform. In the absence of a parent account, the default content mode provides protection to minor users. In addition, adult users and users under 16 will not be able to chat unless they are a trusted friend on the platform. Trusted friends for users under 13 and up to 16, depending on whether that parent is still linked to the child account, may require parental consent. Unless a parent elects otherwise, users between 13 and 15 years old may add trusted friends through a QR code or phone contact importer. Under the agreement, no communication involving minors on Roblox will be encrypted. By not allowing encryption, law enforcement will be able to more easily combat child exploitation networks, trafficking, and the distribution of illegal and harmful content. Roblox has committed to spend $1 million over the next 2 years on an awareness campaign intended to educate minor users and adults about online safety. In addition, the platform is committed to spend $1.5 million on a law enforcement liaison position that will provide state law enforcement agencies with communication channels to quickly address safety concerns on the platform. These expenses are in addition to the $10 million that will be used to educate children and parents on the platform's safety and encourage children to engage in innovative, non-digital programs. Before I continue, consider liking, subscribing, and commenting your opinion of this settlement below. Before I give my thoughts, I'm going to read through the other 2 settlements quickly. Today, Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall announced that the state has reached a substantial settlement with the popular interactive gaming platform Roblox, securing meaningful improvements to online child safety and boots-on-the-ground resources for Alabama's schoolchildren. Under the settlement terms, Alabama will receive $12.2 million to be used for funding school resource officers across the state via the Attorney General's Safe School Initiative. Alabama has stepped in where others failed to act. The settlement sends a clear message to every platform operating in this space. You cannot turn a blind eye to the exploitation of children and expect to avoid consequences, stated Attorney General Marshall. We have now established a framework that other states can and should use. Platforms that host children consumers must do their part to give parents a fighting chance to shield their children from harm. While parents will always play the primary role in protecting their children online, we are raising the bar on what we expect from gaming platforms. Parents need a partner, not a black box. This is the beginning of a new standard, and Alabama will aggressively enforce it. All the terms of Alabama's agreement are pretty similar to Nevada's agreement, so I'll just skip over them. Alabama's settlement announcement is significant in that the settlement is one of the first in the nation to be reached with Roblox and is the result of negotiations over the last several months. This case was handled internally by the Attorney General's office. Thus, the state of Alabama will receive 100% of the funds secured by the settlement, with no fees owed to outside firms. The Most Favored Nation clause included in the agreement ensures that Alabama is entitled to any improved terms that are later agreed to by Roblox and any other state. Next, we have West Virginia's settlement with Roblox. The Attorney General of West Virginia today announced an $11 million settlement with Roblox. As part of the agreement, the child's gaming company will fundamentally overhaul how it protects children, including mandatory age verification, restricted adult-to-child chat, default safe content settings for all users under 16, and safety training for West Virginia families and law enforcement. The investigation found that Roblox's historical safety design allowed child users to be exposed to predators and sexual and violent content, putting every child on the platform at risk. An $11 million settlement will be paid out over several years. Part of the funds will be used for safety efforts specific to West Virginia. $500,000 in the safety education workshops for parents and children throughout the state, and $1.5 million for a 3-year public safety campaign. Another $2.4 million over 6 years for the dedicated internet safety specialist. These 3 settlements are all very similar, but still very remarkable. Also, the fact that all 3 of these happened within a week is crazy. But there are pros and cons to each of these settlements. The main pro is funding public safety organizations and overall increasing public awareness. I think that internet safety is not as talked about as it should be within families, and unrestricted internet access to kids is a common but dangerous reality. Getting more people to talk about being safe on the internet is very good, and I hope Roblox will continue supporting that. Then there is the large con of this, age verification. It is probably too late to go back on age verification now, with Roblox at least, and now Roblox is doubling down on how age verification is a safety feature. Because of these settlements, Roblox is legally required to use age verification for the rest of the foreseeable future. Age verification has so many loopholes and issues that companies like Roblox don't want to acknowledge because they don't have a better system that wouldn't cost them a lot of money. Anyway, we're now moving out of the United States to Australia, where the country is not only putting financial pressure on Roblox, but also Minecraft, Fortnite, and Steam. The Australian government's eSafety office has formally asked Roblox, Microsoft, Epic, and Valve to specifically outline how their systems are preventing child and the spread of extremism. The eSafety Office is an independent agency that was initially established in 2015 to combat youth cyberbullying and the online distribution of child material, but its role has since expanded to cover protections for all Australians from a spectrum of online risks. As per eSafety Office announcements, legally enforceable transparency notices have been issued to the aforementioned companies in the wake of its continuing concerns about platforms like Roblox, Minecraft, Fortnite, and Steam itself being used by predators to children and by extremist groups to spread violent propaganda and radicalize young people. Inman Grant went on to point out that predatory adults are well aware of this and target children through or embedding in violent extremist narratives and gameplay. Inman Grant subsequently made references to numerous media reports and taking place on all 4 of these platforms, as well as and violent extremist-themed gameplay. Examples include the Islamic State-inspired games and recreations of mass on Roblox, as well as far-right groups creating imagery in Minecraft. Plus Fortnite games based upon World War II concentration camps and events like the U.S. Capitol building riot of January 6th, Inman Grant added that Steam is reportedly a hub for a number of extreme right communities. No specific examples were noted, though Valve has been previously scrutinized over being home to tens of thousands of groups that amplify other hate-based content. The eSafety Office notes that compliance with the Transparency Reporting Notice is mandatory, and penalties up to 125,000 Australia dollars a day can be issued to companies for failure to respond. For context, 825,000 Australia dollars is equal to almost 600,000 United States dollars. For a multi-billion-dollar company, that's not very much, but this is the cost every day. If they wait a week without responding, that's over 4 million USD. If they wait a month, that's over 18 million USD. Eventually, the cost will add up, forcing Roblox to respond. This transparency notice could be massive if publicly revealed, as the findings could give evidence that Roblox ignored safety issues until there was a massive public attention on them. This could go two ways for Roblox. Either they lose millions of dollars and possibly get banned by Australia, or they be transparent with their safety protocols and, depending on the outcome, get in legal trouble by a lot of governments. I think that Roblox's best move is to just be honest and avoid a massive fine. And if there is something Roblox is hiding about safety that is revealed, it is just speeding up the inevitable revelation that they don't care much about safety. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.